Hello again, it's Professor McCartan with another topic. Today we're going to talk about radio. Now, how many of you guys listen to the radio? If you're streaming it on your phone, if you're in the car, I'm sure that you all pretty much have some form of knowledge and or interaction with the radio. So what is radio advertising? Well, think of the last time that you were listening to your favorite radio station. Were you singing along, jamming along to those favorite songs, or were you listening to some kind of comedian act or a debate or something like that on a podcast? Or did you listen to someone talking and then started to surf around when advertisements started? Uh, this is radio advertising. It's advertisement on the air that are paid placements to promote products, services, or events. The concept is very much like television, but with words, music, and sound without the use of visual images. So radio has to be very good. It has to have some effectiveness, and there are disadvantages as well as advantages to radio. So when we look at the effectiveness of radio advertising can be very effective because of the fact that it reaches a very captive audience. Understanding your target market is critical here when advertising the radio because you will then select that station that reaches that consumer to market to. For instance, if you're looking for a younger audience, you will find a station that plays the more hip radio, the current. Likewise, if you are looking for an older audience, you might look for somebody that is more the oldies or classic or something like that, or maybe focuses on news. You want a station that plays current hits and has reputation for reaching whatever audience that you're looking for. When the right audience, you're ready to pretty much launch the radio ad that will effectively communicate your message. It will tell about your product or service, and the goal is to motivate people to make a move, to actually take action. You may want people to go online to order your product or visit your store or stop by your store to pick up a product, but radio can be used effective when it's used appropriate. So when we're looking at some advantages, it's less expensive. I can tell you that radio advertisement is a lot less than television advertising. And I will say that there are other forms out there that are less expensive, such as billboards, direct mail, and some online. But I can say that radio advertising is very budget friendly. It's immediate. Radio ads are easy to produce. They're often require very little aspect with just a little bit of background sound, sometimes some voice narrative or a script, and most stations will help you record and produce an ad. So, and typically I will tell you, most of the time, oftenly free. So it does really help you bring that production and bring that ad to fruition pretty fast in a very short time frame. And you can add the ad to the radio to promote products or events that are coming up quickly. Attention grabbing is one of the biggest things. Some stations, especially sports, talk radio, are especially successful in gaining attention of listeners. Customers already that are accustomed to listening will listen through the advertisements and see what is coming about for the messages of the ads and things like that. I will say there are some disadvantages. Devices replacing radio these days are hard, so the streaming and other things out there that you can pay a fee so you're not getting those advertisements. Many listeners tune into their own devices such as iPods, the music they've downloaded, or their phones, than listening to the radio. And radio stations are struggling to keep people listening to the radio, and the cut down in numbers of people who will hear your ad has definitely come about these more recently in time. Random placement, while your ad may be scheduled in a block of time, there's no guarantee it will run in that time frame because ads are short. The listeners may not even hear the ad or pay attention when it's played, and you may not hear it or either unless you are focusing or waiting to listen to it on that specific station. So, like I said, there are advantages, but there are disadvantages, and it is definitely a great medium to use when it comes to radio. Radio advertising is a popular way to promote a product, service, or an event. Placing ads on the radio can be very effective to reach the potential customers as long as you're targeting them, and it has many advantages. So, make sure that you take a note to that and make sure you understand a little bit of those disadvantages as well. Well, until next time, this is Professor McCartan. Take care.